Welcome to Not Trevor's Tabletop. I'm Zach.
I'm Mac.
And I'm Pepper.
And today we are talking about our number 70 through 61 favorite games of all time. This year we're doing a top 80 of all time, so if you missed our 80 through 71, you can go check out that video now to see those games that we've listed so far. But this is the next group of 10, and we'll be doing the rest of these videos throughout the month of August, so subscribe to see all the future videos as well.
It's free.
Yes, and we've got a giveaway going on, so you can go check out the video talking about that. But otherwise, yeah, just comment below what your favorite list is of the three of us, which games you agree with, which games you say, nah, they don't deserve to be a top 80, and which games you would put on your 70 through 61.
Yes, and we are keeping the same order, so it'll go from me to Zach to Michaela. So I will lead us off with my number 70 game of all time. And I think this is one that is hopping back onto the list and has been around for a long, long time. And that is, hey, it was never on the list, not even once. But I'm
Wow.
finally covering my bases. I'm getting Stone Age onto a list, and I think I think I used Pub Meeple, and I did not massage any of the numbers or anything afterwards. So I think this one, when it's matched up with other games, I just kind of want to get back to this game. I want to get back to one of those. It's kind of nostalgic. Go back to those early games that you haven't played in years. I don't know if I've played this in maybe 2 or 3 years even. Although maybe, is it on Board Game Arena? I might have played it on there once.
I actually don't remember if it is or not.
Some online format, I think I might have. But yeah, this one, a classic worker placement game. One of the first that it would be great to introduce you to board gaming, to maybe a little bit more complicated board games if you've only played. This one probably could be one of the first ones you play, actually. And the dice mechanism going out, putting your workers, as many as you want, to these worker placement spots, and kind of pushing your luck as to how many you think you will need to generate the resources that you want, and how thin you think you can spread all of your workers. I think is just something that actually feels very unique in this game for still being the basic, one of the go-to granddaddies of the mechanism.
Yeah, this is a good one. I don't think it made my list, but I think when I was going through Pub People too, for some reason I was like, yeah, I kind of wish that could make a list of mine because, yeah, back when we got into the hobby, it was probably one of our favorites, all of our favorites at the
Probably
time.
the most played ones.
Yeah, so if we had done a channel when we first got into the hobby and had our top games of all time, this one I think would have probably been in all of our top games, but.
Easily.
Yeah, unfortunately, when we started this, we had a lot more games to choose from, and at that point, we'd probably played this one many, many times.
Yeah, I remember in the kitchen late at night, you were telling me about this new game you heard of, Stone Age, and you were explaining the resources, and I was like, what is going on? This sounds way too complicated.
Yes,
Um,
that's a good pick. Um, Yeah, my pit number 70 is one that, from my claims last year, if you followed along with our list last year, kind of the one of the running things we were doing was Stonemeyer versus Garfield games on my list, and we found out I was not a big fan of Garfield games apparently, or as big a one as I thought. But yeah, I can't remember. I don't believe this one made it on the list, but it was. I might have mentioned it, and that is Ezra and Nehemiah. And it was not. But yeah, this was one that maybe we got like right before we did the list or something, or right around the time, so that's maybe why it didn't make it on there. And yeah, this reminds me a lot of Viscounts of the West Kingdom with the kind of card system that you're using, which is one that we really liked a lot. It was actually one that we did a 10 by 10 challenge and
So
still liked
match.
after the fact. Still liked after the fact, which wasn't the case for all games. So a game using that mechanism along with maybe some other things that Garfield has done in their other games. And going back to a little bit of a simpler style game, still a decent amount going on,
hmm
but not nearly as heavy as kind of their South Tigris series that they've had. Uh, yeah, it's really a really great game, and it's one that I really should get back to the table even more often than we do because yeah, it's just got kind of some fun clearing of resources and then utilizing those resources to do these few different things out on the board. And
Yeah.
yeah, just a lot of fun.
It's like the perfect blend of like not too thinky, like where Wayfarers and Scholars really hits over, but this one's like just thinky enough.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
finds that middle ground.
Yeah. Yeah. And I believe I made a mistake here. It should say that this was a crossover with Michaela from number 75. So that,
hey,
I think, is
yo.
the first crossover of the series so far.
Oh, is it? Yeah, as I was talking about it, I'm like, I can't remember if Michaela had it or if maybe she was. I was thinking maybe she would have it. I
I
couldn't
do.
remember it. And as I was talking, I'm like, I'm pretty sure she did have it now that I'm thinking about it. So,
Yep.
All right, well, my number 70 is a brand new game to me this year. I know I had to throw another one on there, but it was so good, and I've been really wanting to get back to it, and that is Ostia.
Ooh.
It's quite a wow. This is amazing. Um, so Ostia, it's quite simple. You're really just moving your boat left to right, but I think it's really interesting when it comes down to how you move your boats. It's got that
kind of
help
Moncala
me.
Rondell.
Thank you, Mancala Rondell, kind of like Crusaders, where you get these cute little ships and kind of moving them around, and kind of where you start and where you end up determine what actions you take. And you're kind of just going towards the end. It's got a really straight feature of like what it does, but it's so good at what it does. So I'm really excited to get back to this one and play it some more.
Yeah, this is a good chat. I'm glad you got it on the list. And this is one probably like Ezra was for me last year. I've only got the chance to play it once, and I think there was just a few other games that I wanted to get on. I think it was kind of in the running, and I was like, maybe we'll get it played a couple more times and it can make the list next year for me. So I'm glad you mentioned it because it is a really solid game. And if you like games like Crusaders or Five Tribes, not quite as much like Five Tribes, but a lot like Crusaders, you probably will have a good time with this one as well.
Yeah, this looks exactly like Crusaders. You got like a wedge of boats that might be Moncala in about. You got buildings, you got a map. Wow.
I mean, it's something. Thank you very much for the sparkly pink pony, Jesse.
Yes, you wanted pizzazz.
It's
If
perfect.
you wanted pink,
It's perfect now.
Oh man.
he's going to change that every time now. Everyone's going to have to tune in to see what happens with the horse.
Oh man, I'm gonna run out of ideas. My 69. It is interesting that this game is my 69 because 69 will look the same if you flip it upside down. And my 69 is Stranger Things upside down. This is from Simon, which I'm like Simon, company that makes some of my favorite games, the one that will be much higher on this list. Definitely dealing with monsters, some of my favorite games, designers, and one of my favorite shows. Had me very excited for this. Then I see the board and I'm like, this looks pretty tame. This looks just a square board with spaces. What is this, a worker placement game? Then I played it, and I have really loved this game. I think it brings across the fear of the unknown very well because you have a bunch of these tokens, and they're face down, most of them, and you don't know what value is out there, so you don't know what strength you have to go to these different locations with. And I think that's just really fun for me to flip over those tokens one by one to see whether you succeed or fail, and if you fail, how bad you fail. And if you could possibly have just lost a whole game just for one stupid decision. But yeah, I like this one of my favorite shows. So this is, once that season is, final season's playing, I'm sure I'm going to be breaking this one out a ton.
Yeah, a couple times I played this one, I enjoyed it as well. And yeah, this is a tough game. I don't
It
think I won
is.
either time or either of the times that I played it. And yeah, it makes me think of a very hardcore on steroids pandemic style
Oh,
game.
yes. Yeah.
Good pick. My number 69 is not upside down. It is, but I guess it's an upside down pyramid. I guess you could say that in conspiracy.
Wow, that was a stretch for a transition.
You're,
It was
you're
a
up.
very, very
You
much a
better start
stretch.
thinking about yours, man.
You better start thinking about it. But yeah, this is from Bruno Catala. It is a pretty simple card game set in the Abyss universe, if you've played that one, also from Bruno Catala. And yeah, I think this year I've maybe had a few more kind of card games, a little lighter games on my list. And yeah, this is one that is just fun to get back to the table every now and then. I think it's also on Board Game Arena. And it's just kind of a simple thing where you want kind of one high card of each color while also getting a big group of all of one color. So like in the picture there, for example, you got kind of a group of reds there or a group of greens that you're kind of working on. And yeah, you get points on that. And then there's this key factor, which is, I think, a fun little way to get some bonus points or attempt to get some bonus points with these cards that sometimes are going to be great for you and sometimes aren't. But then there's that press your luck factor of how many cards you're drawing and what you're opening up for other players and the cards kind of grouping up in colors. Um, I think it's just a really neat mechanism that works really well.
I
Yeah.
agree.
I need to play this one more often because I think it really could have a chance of being in my top games. I just almost never play it. So, but I remember liking it the times that we did play. So, all right. Well, mine is much heavier than this game. 69 is Arc Nova, one of the heaviest
Wow.
games to ever be
That was a
released.
terrible transition, Mac. My goodness.
It's
This is the best I've
not even upside down.
Yeah, I don't know where you're going with that, but Ark Nova, oh man, if you don't know about this game, you're probably living under a rock because it has been the hotness for about 5 years now, it feels like. Essentially, it's a zoo game with a lot of card drafting and,
Not card drafting.
well,
Like
yeah.
you're managing some cards in your hand.
Yeah, it's terraforming-esque, I guess.
Terraforming Mars
Yeah.
style. Tableau building.
with the cards. There's kind of this unique action selection type thing that you do with cards and they kind of shuffle around and strength of it changes and you also have like a little zoo. So there's also polyomino shapes that you're laying down or polyomino-esque, I guess. As well as like two tracks that are you're trying to get overlapped and some goals that you're going for. So it's kind of a lot. She's a lot to take out. She's a lot to play, a lot to remember the rules on. But I really like what it does. I find it really interesting to try and get the different sets of animals. Also trying to like get your zoo in place, and there's so much going on, but I think it works all pretty well-rounded together. So I've enjoyed our playthroughs of this. I think it just being so big and so much to remember really holds it back from being like a star game for me, but
Yeah.
it's still just a beautiful, wonderful game.
Yeah, I should try that one more. I have grown to like games like Terraforming Mars, so maybe I'll like this more than I give it credit for.
It's good. It took a little bit, but yeah, once we got through the first playthrough, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one continues to grow for me as I play it, but still hasn't quite gotten into the list for me yet.
Still a bit overrated. Oh man. My 68 is a game with a very unique theme. Super Skill, Pinball, 4K, or the whole series here. This one, I'm not a fan of pinball. I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but I've played it maybe once or twice in my life. But playing this one gives me the feeling that I think I would have from pinball, trying to stay alive and make the game last as long as possible, bouncing the little token here, reflective token, metallic token, bouncing that around to the different little mini games, which will score you points again and again and again and again, and just trying to get as many points as possible to milk that ball, milk each ball of the three that you get in a game. I really like this one. It's a great one to play solo, being a roll and write game. I think I probably much prefer it solo because in multiplayer, I know I think I played it with Zach, multiplayer, and then there's a lot of confusion where one of us would end our first game. We get 3 games per game, and one would end our first game, and then we'd like stop and wait for the other person to stop, but you're not actually supposed to stop. You're supposed to start your next one and just keep going, even if you aren't lined up with the other player. So I'm like, just keep it simple, play it solo. I think it's a great one and a lot of maps to explore. There's a lot of versions of this one. Got a Star Trek one. So if you don't like a certain theme, maybe you can find it in one of the other boxes.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a very thematic game.
It's very clever of them to do different themes because
Yeah.
there's pinball machines
Yeah,
just like it. So very clever.
yeah. My number 68 probably isn't quite as unique, but I guess there's maybe a unique fact about it and the building of bridges with eggs. And this one is Praga Kaput Regni. Um, which I guess, yeah, I don't know how much those were utilized in the making of said bridges, but I know they are a cost to kind of building and going across these bridge areas that you're going to throughout the game, which is a piece of the game. This game has a lot of different parts to it, but one of my favorite parts is obviously that action selection board there we've got on the right. That some actions like kind of get stronger and stronger, and you can start to get bonuses and stuff if they're not used for a while. And if you want to use an action that was kind of just used, it will actually cost you something to use it. So I like the way that piece works. Just make sure that you don't like, I'm just going to continue to use this, what I would consider maybe the strongest action or something, while also building out your own little action board and upgrading your personal actions. I think this whole game comes together. It feels very Vladimir Suchi-esque, where it's kind of got a pretty simple five-ish actions or whatever it is, but actually deciding what to do when and maximize all your turns is the difficult part, because it feels like you never get enough turns in this one, or I've always felt like it's not enough. And yeah, it's a tight, heavy Euro game that I like to get back to the table every now and then.
He likes this game so much, but he still hasn't taught it to me yet. So
We didn't play that one?
never. I've never played this game.
We
You
played it.
sure?
We
Literally.
played it.
Never.
Maybe Jesse didn't play it originally, and because I remember I played it with Zach and Carson, but then I thought I played it with someone else, and maybe it must have been Jesse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not that bad. Not bad, Mac.
I want to. We just never get
I mean,
near it.
geez, the Arc Nova
I know. See,
person
I
here.
can handle it. All right, well, my 68 is different than your guys's in the fact that it's kind of a campaign or legacy style game, I guess you would call it. And I think my first Stonemeyer, and that is Charterstone. Woo woo woo. So the three of us plus my sister had the pleasure of playing Charterstone a couple years ago, which is just kind of a crazy worker placement game, I guess you could say. And it's campaign style.
I
So,
think it is technically Legacy because things are changing.
okay.
Permanent
You
changes.
never know the
You can
difference.
see there's a sticker thing there.
Diction.
So, yeah, Legacy is typically when there are permanent changes.
Okay.
Otherwise, campaign is you're playing kind of module. I don't know what you'd call it.
Okay. Yes, so we played this game, and it has a bunch of different things that go into it. Like Zach said, there's stickers, there's little workers, robots, things that no spoilers for you, but it's
Might have been a spoiler, but
is it? I don't know. There's things in the game. It's an
everyone's got
old
to beat
game.
this
They've
whole
gotta
thing out.
know. They've gotta know. So anyway, it's a great fun time to have with people. You can play up to six, and it kind of is the same each time you play with a couple of different twists on it. So it's not like overly complicated, but it is fun and kind of interesting with the worker placement, kind of how that all goes. So I think we had a really fun time with it, and I think it's a good game, and one that I'd like to get back to for some type of a legacy experience later on down the road.
Yeah. Do you think this is kind of steadied out? It looks like it dropped a little bit as the time went on. Is it going to stick around?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard because with these types of games, you're like nostalgic for the experience. I mean, I think you can technically pull it out and play it, but we never do. And I think the charm in it was the legacy. So I don't know. It's hard because you're trying to slot something in with other games you can play over and over and over again. But I still think it's worthwhile to have in your collection, so that's why I put it on the list.
I agree. Oh boy, my next one, if we're talking about how things are different from other games, my next one is different, mainly component-wise, because it has cards, which most games have, but the board of this one is made up of Legos. This is Monkey Palace. This is one of the shockers of last year. Got it around Christmas. You guys came down, brought this, played it. Mac did not play it, I guess. I don't think. Did you?
No.
Okay, so Zach and I played this one, and this perfectly balances what I would want from a Lego game. It's kind of a lighter game, more approachable game, quick and fun, and creating something very cool. But it also had just enough mechanisms that made me feel smart in how I planned out my turn and built my part of the structure. And kind of a bit of an engine builder as you are cashing in your points that you earn to buy new cards, which will then produce you more pieces. So you can kind of adjust what type of pieces you are producing for the future. And I thought it just had more. It eased my worries that it was going to be too simple, and it was something pretty special.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by this one as well, and I don't remember. This might not have been in my Pub Meeple thing. With whatever filters I had, they were a huge chunk of what ended up being on my list for some reason. I think this one might have also fell into that category, so it could have maybe had a chance of slipping onto the probably tail end of my list as well. But yeah, very, very solid one for what I thought had a chance of maybe feeling like, oh, this might be too light and just kind of more of a kid's style game.
Hmm.
Definitely had enough meat on the bone.
On the monkey bone.
But yeah, speaking of kind of building upwards, trying to escape the ground level.
It's
We have
snowballing,
got
Mac.
what's that?
It's snowballing. We've started something here.
We have got one that Mac does not like. I don't know why. It has oodles and oodles and oodles and oodles of points, and this is Whistle Mountain.
Seriously? You haven't played that game in like 8 years.
And I still love it. I still want to get back to this one. It is just so rewarding feeling because I am shocked that more games that I'm aware of. Let me know in the comments below if there are more games like this where you're like placing your ship out and it's kind of activating multiple things around it. I just love that. I don't know how that's not a more common thing because it's just a lot of fun. And yeah, the I don't know that the actual like water level going up. I don't know if that's really that interesting of a thing necessarily. It's just a way so that you're not able to use the same machines over and over and over the entire game. It's kind of hiding some of them as the game goes on, so got to use them while you can sometimes, and then kind of keep moving up. But yeah, I love worker placement. I think this is one of the most unique ways to use it because yeah, you can either place on the board like that, or you've got the areas around the board that kind of just have typical normal worker placement actions to them. And I think it just all comes together really well. I really like this game, and yeah, it's unfortunate Michaela does not like it. And if you are worried about Whistle Stop, or if you've played Whistle Stop and you're like, I don't want to play anything in the Whistle series, this is totally different. They should have never called it something that was so close to that, because this almost sounds like it'd be an expansion to that, but it is not anywhere near related to it. Play this one instead.
Have you
Don't get
played?
fooled.
Have you played the other one?
I think I did once.
Okay.
Like, but it's been a long time. But I don't know that I like hated it, but I don't think it did not feel special like this one.
Yeah,
All
this
right.
one's pretty good. It really grew on me the last time I played it, so with more plays, I could see this making my list someday.
Well, this is why we all have individual lists and not a cohesive games we all three recommend. So
No, we'll have that at the end. Don't worry, we'll have that in the stats
if you
video.
put trash on your list, it's yours. So
Okay, let's hear your trash.
it's maybe not trash. We only played it once.
Is this one rising?
No, I have no desire to play this game ever again.
Not this.
Oh,
I'm at yours.
I see. I thought you were talking about the water with the whistle. All right.
Well, that's because it. Okay.
My number 67, you said you gotta leave the ground. Well, how about we leave Earth and go to space? Because that's where Pulsar 2849 takes place. Vladimir.
It's another one that just stays on our list and it just shocks me.
Why?
I don't know.
It's a good game.
It is a good game. It's just I don't know. I don't know what it is that it makes it stand out to me. It's on your list.
Yeah, it is. It's one I like to play. And I mean, it is falling, and I think that's probably fair because I think
We haven't played it in a
we
while.
haven't played it in a while,
Doesn't
but
help it.
even then, I think there are some things that are just like repetitive in it that don't switch up enough to make it super replayable sometimes. So,
I think we're too worried about taking on some of the actions that are available.
yes,
But maybe
exactly.
if we played it more, we would take those, and then all of a sudden we'd be like, "Wow, we're fools."
Yeah. Well, I mean, there does seem like one real obvious way to get good points. And so I think that kind of is like the always go-to type of thing. But it's usually two players, and this one's kind of unique. I think it was kind of my first set into like this idea of like player turn order changes based on the actions that you take kind of a thing. And then you double down on the dice that you take, being left or right of that, moving certain things around, which then control the actions you can take. And so there's all these different pieces that go into it. And the best part are these little plastic spaceships that you can fly all around the map, that you get to go and explore different solar systems and planets for. It really is pretty streamlined of a game, and I think that's why I really like it, is because it's got stuff there without being like too overly complicated. That being said, there are a couple things like Zach said that we don't normally bother to deal with in the game, but overall, I think it is just really unique and interesting for what it is. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's mostly just because they feel really expensive.
mhm.
And another kind of like Praga where it feels like never have enough turns to do everything that I want. I think this one kind of has that too, where it's like, I'm going to be wasting most of what I'm going to do this turn on that. It feels like it's a waste,
Yeah,
but I'm assuming it must actually be better than we give it credit for. We're just kind of afraid it's like, it doesn't seem like it's going to be as good.
right. Yeah.
But
I mean, I think you only
group
get
meta,
two moves per turn or something like that.
probably.
Or something like two, you only get two per
Kind
round.
of a
I
similar
think
thing
it's
to
something like
Grand Austria Hotel, sort of, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my 67.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
Yeah. Well, speaking of flying all the way across the map, over the map, that is exactly what you are doing in my 66 on tour. Except in here, you are not flying, you are driving an old Volkswagen, an old van with the band going on tour. And this one is another, I have a few roll and rights in this section here, and this one, you are trying to. It makes me think a little bit, kind of a Racco thing. Just try to get things in order, in ascending order, to make one long path of connected locations. What is that? Does that one not make sense to you?
Hmm?
Oh, are you looking at the?
Yeah, I was looking at. I couldn't tell if that was a 40 and a 43, and then another 40. But those might be ones.
Oh, I think those are ones. I'm guessing it
Okay.
wraps around
Yeah,
in
that's what I'm
there.
thinking. That's why I was confused. I'm like, well, if that's 40 and there's a 40 up there, I'm confused.
This is so confusing. But that's the fun of the game is trying to just make this a long path because you get points for how long your path is, maybe going to specific locations that are special. But it can be really restrictive with the cards you get. It really sucks when you roll the right numbers, but the cards say you have to go to the Midwest or something like that, or the East when you want to go to the West. And it can really hurt. And I think that might be my only negative about it, is especially when it's getting late in the game. It feels not nice, but to have the cards decide it when it's already so restrictive because you've filled up so much of the map. But yeah, this one is feels unique. It feels unique, and I don't know if I'd ever want to play it in person and try to actually visualize. I like when the computer will do it for you and pick the best route because sometimes maybe you miss it. Maybe you don't notice that you actually have a longer route in a different way. So yeah, really cool one. I don't know. I think the theme probably does not come across very much, but I like the theme. I think it's a cool theme, and it works enough.
Yeah, Pepper just listing off the ones that I don't think this was on my Pub Maple either, and this could have had a. No, this one also probably falls in the same lane as the last one. Could have had a chance to make it on my list because yeah, I like this one too.
Could have been a contender.
It could have been. But instead, mine does include the potential for something flying around, especially if things get too wild and crazy. You don't probably wouldn't want something flying around necessarily. And this one kind of matches up with my theme this year that was picked, and I think it might be my only one of this theme. That's Dinogenics. So yeah, I believe are there pterodactyls in here, Pepper? I
Yes,
think
there
there's.
are.
Okay.
Got to put them in a dome.
Gotta put that's what I knew there was the dome, but I'm like, yeah, I can't remember if there actually were the pterodactyl or if it was just like a special building you could buy. But yeah, this one's a worker placement game. Feels like a classic worker placement game. It's got some amazing wooden pieces you can see there, and the boards are actually like multi-layered, so like those fence pieces kind of stick into those grooves. It's really cool feeling. Probably didn't have to be that way, but it just gives it that little extra cool factor. I think they actually recently well, probably been not so recent anymore, but added it to Board Game Arena. So if you want to try this one, you can try it there. But for a while, I think it was a little bit harder to get than kind of the Dinosaur Island, Dinosaur World games. I think those are a little more easily available.
Yeah.
I think this one is kind of gone above and beyond those ones for me now. Initially, I wouldn't have said that, but I think, yeah, this one's made its way onto my list, unlike those ones. And it's just a really special feeling worker placement game, and it's a lot of fun. Although, I think it does feel a little bit more thematic sometimes than the other ones, because once things start getting out of control, it actually feels like very devastating in this game, which
Yeah.
some people might not like. Some people might not like that because you can lose big points and big things very, very
Yeah.
quickly in this game if you're not managing. Whereas I
Yeah.
think the other ones are a little bit more forgiving on that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
Pterodactyl rolls a die, breaks out of its dome, which it can't be in a pen with everything else, so then everything else riots, and you get scandals, scandals, scandals.
scandals are a lot of negative points.
It's yeah.
Interesting. All right,
Is yours about pink horses?
mine is not about pink horses, but if we can keep on the theme of dinosaurs, aka dragons, I have a
Weak connection.
Quaddle or Codal. I'm not quite sure how you say this,
I
but
think it's Quaddle.
this is a new game for us this year and one that I just loved when we were playing it. Like it was so good, the puzzle of it. You have these different cards, you're trying to create a coatl in a certain with certain patterns in order to fulfill cards, and you can only have so many cards per coatl, and in trying to do that, you're balancing like you have a pool of pieces and you can only have so many, and you can only have so many running at the same time. So I think in total you get 3 coatls, but you can only be working on 2 at a time. So you're like constantly like trying to figure out what pieces do I take? Do I need a head? Do I need a tail? What colors do I need? How can I build these in? How can I make these cards work for like
Certain patterns.
points and patterns and stuff? And so I just I loved everything about this. It was so fun to try and build that puzzle. I don't know why it just really, really clicked with my brain. I did terribly on points, but I had fun. So that's always a win for me.
Yeah, this one was fun. I like trying to create patterns and stuff in games, but yeah, I think the only problem I had with this one was at least in a two-player, the selection of cards you had. I would have liked there to be a little bit more options because sometimes it just
Yeah.
didn't feel like you were getting things that you could get or
Hmm.
could actually complete, and that wasn't. That's just me wanting a lot of points.
Yeah.
That's the, I don't know, perfectionist in me of like, I want to maximize my cards. Uh,
Yeah.
it just feels funner for me. I mean, Whistle Mountain, for goodness sakes.
Yeah, and
Some people don't like that.
I
So if
think
you like it a
too,
little tighter, this one works for
I
that.
think too, like the wheel where you could take pieces off it didn't move as fast as it would have in like a higher player count game. So I think we got stuck a few times with like, no one wants those colors and we can't refresh it until they're taken. So somebody's just gonna have to take some pieces that they don't want. So that was maybe like the only thing, but
But
yeah,
like adding to it was pretty free.
yeah.
So I like that.
So you add the head and the tail on there, that baby can be added to.
Yeah, I gotta try this. I think this is on Board Game Arena, so gotta check it
Is
out.
it?
Well, speaking of dragons, my game has one tile with the shadow of a dragon, and that is King Domino. We do not have it. Yes, it is right there. Right, that green meeple has taken it at the top of that left image there. Um, this one is a classic, another classic one, and I don't think I've played this one in a while, actually, which is shocking because it's one that everyone can play and one that is very easy to play. It's a very quick game, and maybe not when you play with all the tiles at a two-player count. Maybe it's a little longer then, but the simplicity of this one, of drafting dominoes with these different landscapes on them and trying to arrange them in your kingdom to make a large area of continuous of the same type, but not just a large area, but an area with crowns because you multiply the amount of spaces by the amount of crowns within it. So if you get 13 spaces, one crown, that's only 13, and that's going to feel pretty bad if someone was able to snag all those crowns from you. But the ideal is this kind of cave area, this cave system on the right image. That is what I am tempted to go for every game.
That is the cat's meow.
That is the cat's meow right there. And yeah, this one I think is going to be around forever for our collections, our lists. It may not always make our list. Maybe it'll drop a little bit, but never be sad to play this one.
No.
I just recently played it with Abby and I was super stoked at how much fun it was after not playing it for a while. So,
Yeah. I played this one with a coworker at lunch and went over very well. So it's one that you can introduce people that don't always play games to, and I think it's pretty easy to pick up, which is always good when a game has that ability.
Yeah, yeah. King Dama, yes.
But what's that? Two Brunos versus two Suchis?
Yeah. Oh
Who's
boy.
gonna win out? Well, then getting into my number 65. It is also a game that's on the kind of lighter, more welcoming side, like King Domino. And I think, yeah, if this one had been around when we first got into the hobby, it could have been one of these classic to us games that is maybe nostalgic for us a little bit. But this one's a newer one. This is a newer one. I don't believe it would have been on my list in the prior years. And we'll see if this makes any other lists. I don't know that it will. I think I probably like it the most out of us. But it is far away. So yeah, in this game, this is actually back-to-back games here that I brought in and played at a work lunch. So yeah, this one, although yeah, this one you have to probably play around to understand how the game goes, though. A little bit more than King Domino. Seeing how King Domino works also helps with the first play, but this one much more because in the whole game you're only playing these 8 cards, and you can see a kind of a card example on the left there. And yeah, it'll have a number in the top, and that just kind of helps you determine who, like turn order. With whoever played the lowest one will go first, and in ascending order, it'll go to whoever played the next highest kind of thing. And then you'll be putting these in an order, left to right. And then they've got, you can see in the bottom of that one, a scoring condition down on the bottom. And kind of once you've played your 8 cards, I don't know that that's necessarily a rule, but typically how I score is I flip them all over, and then you reflip them from right to left and score them if you meet the requirements. So like this one would need 2 pineapple symbols, which you can see there's a little blue flame or gem symbol up in the top of that one. You would have needed other cards in your tableau to have those symbols to score that, and they have to have been played after this card. So even talking about it now, it seems very complicated, but once you play it, it makes sense. It's pretty simple, and yeah, it's just a really quick, fun one that I've really enjoyed. It's on Board Game Arena as well, so yeah, if you want to try it there, I can't imagine it takes more than 5 to 10 minutes to play if you
Yeah.
know the
know what you're
rules.
doing. Yeah. All right. Well, I have no way to connect these two. I can't think of a
Not
single
another light
one.
game,
Not.
welcoming game.
Nope, it is not. It is Euphoria.
Hmm.
Hey.
Charterstone wasn't even last, so as you can say, I'm
Couldn't
continuing
get
with the Stonemaier.
couldn't get it, but yeah. Euphoria. I really enjoyed this game when we played it a couple years ago, and Zach doesn't love this game, so we never get it out, but it is better at a higher player count, so that's part of the struggle, I think.
I don't know how you like this one and not Whistle Mountain. Whistle Mountain is far superior in every way.
the di the dice, how you get that, like it's just it's a unique blend. This game is like the moving your people on the little tracks and the dice, how they interact with everything, the resources, like this getting the stars off, which is like very Stonemaier, like set Stonemaier up for the next 12 years essentially with the st stars situation. I think it's just so different than anything else that we have that I just always think about it and I'm kind of like, I want to play that game or like, why don't we play this game? Because it just does something different that I feel like I don't find in a lot of other games. And so I think it's just super unique in that way. And when you bring it out to play, like that really shines through and kind of makes it its own experience. So I have euphoria when playing it. How about that?
Nice.
Wow.
Euphoria is maybe
Nice.
a little strong, but I really like this game.
Yeah, that's a good one. Underrated one for sure.
Hmm.
He doesn't think, oh, wow.
I like some of what's happening with the dice when you're like summing it to get resources and stuff, but then there's the chance like throughout this game, if they get too smart, you can like lose a die, and that just seems kind of luck based. So
Yeah.
I don't know. There's pieces of it that I also don't like, and I feel like just aren't as smooth as some other worker placement games.
It was one of his first, so there probably are things that could be improved, but
Yeah.
If you've got viticulture, why? What
all
I'm
right,
saying.
all right.
Wow, wow, wow. Well, speaking of games where without a set number of rounds, where it is triggered by the scoring of players and how well they do, my number 64 is Mystic Vale. I got a big pool of beautiful points over there, beautiful blue points. And once those
Mana.
run out, the game is over. Even if you trigger it, not necessarily going to win, then you compare your points there. But the core of this game, I do declare, is these transparent cards. It's made me fall in love with that mechanism where you have a card sleeve and different transparent cards with little elements on them, and you are adding them together. In this game, it's simple. It either has a top action, middle action, or bottom action, and you're trying to build out your deck. It's not you're building out the cards that are already in your deck. You're not adding cards. So it's kind of a twist on deck building, one of my favorite mechanisms. And as you can see here, they can get super complicated cards here. You can make ones that just give you a bunch of symbols to go by what are those ones? Runes or whatever they are. Special cards there, or just get a card that gives you a ton of mana, a ton of money, multipliers, different things, just get points. A lot of different ways to go with this one. I think there's a ton of expansions. I have the app. I recently re-downloaded the app to play with that, and I think maybe the first expansion. And I was like, oh, this game is just so much fun. So it is back on the list. It dropped off. I think I hadn't played it in a while, but it's back, baby.
It's back.
It's back, baby. Yeah, that's a fun one, and I do really like the twist on the deck building where it's card crafting.
Yeah.
As a system he's continued to use, and I don't know that I've actually tried any of his other games yet that have that kind of thing. So
Hmm.
yeah, mine I don't have any way of leading into this, so we're just gonna go at it. Well, was I this one I think was nominated for a Dice Tower Award once, and I wasn't sure. Pepper loves this cover of this game. I still don't know if I've fully accepted the cover yet or not. I don't know what you think of it, but it's one that you can play with your D&D friends, and that is Forgotten Waters.
Yes.
And this one was, yeah, I feel like the Dice Tower Awards maybe had this one once and had Unmatched, and those have been like two huge surprises to me because I've had like very little interest in them originally, and then there's all this talk about it, and I'm like, oh, okay, we'll try it. I'm sure they're not that good. now they're making my list of top games of all time. Forgotten Waters, this maybe could be like freelancers, and I think they just recently did a new one, like Wandering Galaxy. I don't know. Haven't heard anyone talk about that. It might have just like come out, so I don't know if anyone's even played it yet. Um, and yeah, I have a blast with this one. It's just a lot of fun. It's you're pretty much just picking like these little action areas. They're kind of symbols to do with a certain skill, and then you just kind of do a skill check where you just roll a die and hope that you roll well. It's pretty simple, but it's got kind of this. It's got an app, so some people aren't gonna like it because it's app implemented, and but I think the voice acting and stuff, because they read off all the pretty much all the stuff.
Hmm.
I think that's just all time amazing stuff. It's really really great, and that's what really brings out the experience. You don't need a dungeon master to do it all. You just got all this great voice acting, and I think that's what really brings it together. I think if we had to read everything, it wouldn't even be close to on my list. But because of that, and just because it's more just fun than anything, not
Hmm.
necessarily strategy going into it. I just have a blast with it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good pick. I like the cover, so.
My thoughts on it have gone up a little bit, but it's still not
Yeah.
like near the top, like for you guys, where you guys would put this on a top four
Yeah,
covers of all time
for
list.
sure.
Oh, I don't know if I would do that, but
No, don't lie. Don't
I
be
mean,
modest about it.
it is a misleading cover, I will
It
yeah.
is a
say,
misleading
because
cover.
the cover looks fun.
Yeah. What? All right, get this guy off.
Wow, it is a longer game.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's an adventure, though. I think that's the main point of it. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, mine, I'm not going to be able to connect to this, but what I will say when we're filming this, it's just post Gen Con. And so, in honor of,
We didn't go to Gen Con.
we didn't know, but in honor of Gen Con
Remember Cookie
2023, um,
Zone.
we got Sunrise Lane, and
Mm.
it is st on my list.
For
And
the
this,
longest time it was over here, and I was
mhm,
looking. It's not over there anymore.
it's somewhere over here, but
I know.
this is one where I told Zach, I was like, don't buy it. It looks like it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like we just had barely walked by demos, and I was like, I don't know. It looks like you're building stuff. To me, it looked abstract. You got it anyway for a certain pepper, and
Yeah, if I
brought
pick it up, I
home,
say,
we
you better
played.
get that game, Zach.
And I was wrong. It actually is a really great game. Like, I really enjoy like the cards, trying to play your buildings out, like the whole dynamic of it. It's short, it's sweet, it's simple, while also kind of packing a little bit of a punch strategically for some things that you want to do. And I just love the quadrants and how the buildings look when they're actually like going up and how they stack. That's super fun too. So, all in all, this was actually a really solid pick from Gen Con. So, and I still love to play it to this day.
The best one from Gen Con?
I don't know if I said
We'll
that.
see. We'll see. We'll see.
I don't even remember what we actually
Yeah,
ended up
I don't.
getting at Gen Con, so I don't know. It could probably be the best one.
Played all the games from Gen Con yet.
Wow, there's only a couple. There's only a couple left.
Mm-hmm.
I recently looked. I looked back at our list, but now I already don't remember what was on there because I was like, okay, which ones haven't we played yet? And I think we were down to only two that we hadn't.
Well, you hadn't, but I haven't played Neotopia.
Okay,
So,
three.
There you go.
all right.
I was
Okay.
right. I was right.
Chip big.
Speaking of games where you place pieces onto a board and then some are taller than others, we are going to viticulture and that grande meeple.
The worker placement game that everyone loves from Stonemeyer. Yes,
Papa Grande.
good pick, Pepper.
It's a great game. Yeah, this one's really grown on me. Initially, this was definitely more of a Zach game, but as the years went on, it made my list, and now is sticking around on my list. It may not always be the game I'm wanting to play, but I have the respect for it now, where I don't think I always did. And the worker placement is great. The grande worker is a amazing twist to have in there to open up options, to always have that hammer that you can drop to go wherever you want. And just the theme really coming through with planting these grapes, these vines, turning them into grapes, and then turning that into wine, fulfilling your orders, all the unique visitors you can have, and just a solid worker placement game. If you only ever get one worker placement game, I think this one would be a great representative.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
this makes me want to play it so bad. Spoiler.
Wow. I've tried to get this one played for years.
Such a liar.
And she just like euphoria this, euphoria that.
Just read yours off.
Well, I think Jamie might have now taken the lead in designs here. I think he designed all three of the ones that were mentioned.
Yeah.
Um, but yes. Oh boy, this my next pick is going to really upset someone. That it's this low. They're really gonna be really upset. And it's not Pepper because I don't even know what his top games are. What do you think it is, Maggie?
I don't know.
Well, you're gonna be more upset because your other one I don't think made my list, so it's only one option.
Is it cartographers?
It is cartographers.
My God.
Yep, I don't know why it fell a little bit. It doesn't really make sense. It
It
feels like
was
it's data about this
consistent.
game. Yeah, it was consistent. I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, it is. It's a really great verb and verb game. Kind of kind of going back to what you just said about if you could only have one worker placement game, I think if you only had one flip and right game, I think this, especially if you got some of the map packs, I think this would be a good choice because it's kind of got a little bit more depth to it than some of the simpler ones. There's some simple ones and there's some really heavy ones. I feel like this is right in the middle, which makes it a really solid one for if you're trying to impress the masses. Maybe some people are gonna like ones more than other. But yeah, it is a very good game. I love building out your little not landmarks, but different areas as they're flipped over and trying to meet the goals. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
I
Just
can't
think
wait to see what you place in front of this because you're gonna have a lot of talking to do if this is 63. Like these had better be good games that are coming up because that's some poofy rating there.
just
Well,
think
I know my next one. The masses are going to agree with me that it should be
Ooh,
above this, I think.
Wow,
oh
what a
boy.
travesty. Well, you're sorry, you're stuck playing that game probably for the rest of your life. So,
Wow.
all right. Coming in hot, we've got a new game on the list at debuting at 63. And this was one that I think made a huge impression on you guys. And then I played it and I was like, I absolutely see what you guys are talking about. It's pretty rare, I think. Well, I don't know about you, Jesse, but it's pretty rare that we absolutely agree on a game that comes out. And that is River of Gold.
Ooh.
So, and I think, yeah, it's a crossover with Zach.
Oh boy.
So, oh my goodness, I love this game. I've only played it the one time, which is why it's coming out here. But it's, first of all, it's beautiful. The components are fabulous. And then talk to me about this river going up and down and like the stops and the dice. It's so good. And in between all of that, you got the little tokens that get bought, so the game is slowly ticking away while you're trying to get down this river
I
and
wouldn't say it slowly.
oh,
This is one game.
sorry, it was fast.
I was
It
gonna
was
say this
fast.
is one game. I don't have many. This is one game that I would say feels shorter than it should be.
Yes.
Feel like it should be
Yeah.
just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I don't say that about almost any game, but
Yeah.
this one does feel like it could be longer.
Yeah, I had it backwards. Sorry. I meant like time is slipping away from me.
Right.
Like, because it's just, you don't have enough time to do
Yep.
everything you want. So, yeah, it's just beautiful. I love it. Like, everything that we did in this game, I just thought really worked with it. The stuff on the side is maybe a little, I gotta figure it out still. But after one playthrough, I was just like, yep, I want that one. Keep it forever. Like, let's play it again. So, River of Gold.
Good pick. Good pick. My 62 is also a new game, and it also has a river full of gold. This is Adventureland. Oh, the disappointment on Mac's face. This one is got gold right there. I'm like, oh, it's right there. It's a
Was this the one
layup,
we played at
baby.
Christmas?
Hmm.
Yes, we played it at Christmas. I've only played it that one time, but I really like the mechanism. And this is where pub people like. Usually, I would maybe eliminate the one-time plays, where I'm just like they haven't established themselves quite enough. But with pub people, it's just what I'm most excited to play again. And this one is up there. I hope to play this one again sometime in my life. And on this one, it's a grid of spaces, similar to Bunny Kingdom, with like 100 spaces. And you have these meeples that you can move down or to the right, but you can never move back. And so you kind of have to strategize how far you're going to move with some of your meeples. You have a lot of them, so you have freedom, even if you do go a little far with one of them. But reasons you might be tempted is maybe there is gold in the river and you want to go snag it, but then maybe the old water sprite shoots around the board and takes you out if you're sitting on the water space, which can be pretty fun or pretty devastating, depending on whether you are the one getting taken out. And then there's other things that you can go for different points, get some, I don't know, things in the woods. What are they? I don't know, herbs or something for some points, or some swords in the mountains, or pick up people. I think is a big part to get a big, large group of people, pick up some civilians. And there's a few different scenarios that you can play that adjust the scoring a little bit. So I think that is pretty neat. But overall, it's just feels like a classic game that we should have played long before we did, not a decade into our careers here. It seems like one that could have been there from the very start.
Agreed.
Yeah. I think, yeah, if we had played it earlier, it would have been like a Stone Age for us, I think. So,
Yeah.
I feel
yeah, it's
like
just
definitely
the timing was probably not great for it, but
Mhm.
it's still a very solid game.
gateway game.
Yeah. And you get to fight monsters, rolling dice.
True. I seem to remember that Sprite came after me, and I think there was only one thing it could have possibly pulled, or like one card that could be pulled that
Yeah.
would have hit me, and it happened to be that one. And I'm like, of course.
Hmm.
I don't even know what the odds were. I think it was pretty low odds too. It's not like it was like, oh, getting down there kind of
Yeah.
thing. It was like not likely.
Yeah, because there's a card for every space, so very unlikely.
Hmm. But now we'll get to the one that all the people will or should agree with me, or they used to. Now it's fallen even below one of Michaela's favorite games that she mentioned on this 10 here. It's fallen quite a ways, I believe, and it
Mhm.
used to be the number one on Board Game Geek for a long time. And I have not actually played the physical version of this game. It's all been digital, and I can't even imagine now playing a physical copy of it. I don't think I ever would. And now the newest version of this game, I think, is finally coming to have a digital version as well, so I'm very excited for that. And that is Gloomhaven.
Ooh, nice.
And yeah, I had previously played a little bit of Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion with Pepper, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed what that had to offer, and it sounded like kind of what that was with a spiral book and stuff was a lot more approachable than Gloomhaven. And I was like, oh, this already kind of felt like a decent amount of stuff.
Yeah.
So I can't even imagine with a bigger version of this where you don't even have kind of everything already. I feel like the spiral piece wasn't that like kind of already setting everything up versus if you had the
Yep.
physical, from my understanding, you'd have to set it all up. Obviously, I've still not played the physical, so I don't know what this takes, but yeah, the digital implementation of it and having uh, actual like animation kind of things happening. So I think it really cool. And it feels maybe a little bit like a video game sometimes, but at the same time, because of its kind of slow paced card play, it does still feel like just a live action board game more than going to that next level of video game where it maybe feel a little bit more fast paced.
Yeah.
So I think this is one you'll kind of know if you like or not based on the card system. If you don't like it, that's almost the entire game, so I don't think you're going to just be like, wow, I'm gonna grow to like this in my hours and hours, tens and maybe hundreds of hours of playing it. Um, but yeah, I was wrong on this one. I didn't know if it would be all that as great as people had said, but it is a very solid game, and I can see why people rated it so highly, especially for its time when it was kind of one of the first huge table
Yeah.
hog games. Um, but now that's kind of a common thing, so it doesn't stand out quite as much anymore.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But at the time, it was. I can see why people were very impressed, and
Nice.
still are.
Where'd it
Nice
go to? Do
pick.
you know where it's at now?
I feel like it got all the way down to four, didn't it?
Oh my, slipping.
A
No one
draw.
even, no one even knows its name.
Did I even say its name?
You said
No,
Gluto.
I mean it's dropping. It's irrelevant. No one even knows them.
No one keeps looking at that point. They
Goes
see
into the
him and
gas
they're like, "That's all I
station.
got to see."
Goes
Nice.
into the gas station. People are like, "Hey, bud, who are you?" Sad.
All right, you guys are crazy. Well, my 62 is not nearly as heavy as Gloomhaven. Mine is a nice little retreat into the water of Noctiluca,
Ooh.
however whichever way you say it. And this game I just adore. So essentially you have like a little map, as you can see in the second picture there. And you put different colored dice on there. You roll them to get different numbers, and essentially you take a straight line view at a row or column or whatever, and essentially take dice, I think, of the same pip number. And so in that way, you're trying to fulfill orders that you have in your hand in order to try and score points, which I think those little tokens on the first photo there on the left kind of show. And it's unique because once you take from a row, you kind of put like a little peg down to say, nope, I've taken from this angle. You can't take from here again. So in a way, you're kind of maneuvering around the board to try and get these things to full order. So it's really simple, but it's really beautiful in what it does, I think. And it's so fun to like try and figure out like what can I get? What orders can I fulfill? Like how do I constantly be doing something with it? Like what is my first choice option and what's my second choice? And like I really enjoy thinking through that. And yeah, it's just a lovely dance of the jellyfish, I think is essentially what it's supposed to be. But nice little ocean view.
That is a good one. I mean, it's so simple. Just feels like, yeah, Shem could have designed this in 5 minutes, I feel, and
Right?
it's so good.
Like, how did this not exist already? Like, it's so great.
Yeah, it really is. So yeah, those people out there that like Garfield games and have never heard of this is actually a Shem Phillips
Yeah.
design. So take with that what you will if you have never heard of this one. It is very good, but a little bit lighter than some of his other stuff.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Speaking of kind of that shooting in a straight line that you were talking about, that is making me think of the line of sight in my game. And that is Sniper Elite. The board game is you're shooting in a straight line to take out the Nazis. As this sniper sneaking into these locations, trying to go to little objective points and get your information and then get off the map. It is a hidden movement game, so you are just writing as the sniper on your board, on your dry erase board, and the other player or players are controlling different groups of miniatures on the map, and they are searching and asking little questions to try to find out where you are. And I think they have to hit you twice to take you out. So if they get lucky with one, that is a huge deal because that is half of your health pretty much gone. So you got to be very stealthy here, but sometimes you just got to run as fast as possible and try to get out of a certain sticky situation. So I think it's a really cool game there, and then a little bit of bag pulling in there as well, where you are when you actually take shots as the sniper. Is something that I love in games as well. This one's been around a while. It's been dropping. Just have not played this one very much, but it is always one that I am down to play.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Uh, I think you might have even beat me in that one,
Maybe.
surprisingly. Uh, Mine is is, I think, a lot of fun, and it is. Last year we actually got two games in kind of this world, this Midgard world, but I think this one for me still reigns above the others, and that is Champions of Midgard. I really like the dice rolling in this game. It's got kind of that classic worker placement feeling, like a few of them that we've named today, and that's very solid. I don't know that there's anything like special with the worker placement in this one necessarily, but the big meat of this game that I really like is that push your luck of rolling or adding these dice, which are kind of are different warrior types, depending on what colors they are, and some what you go out and do is fight kind of these different monsters, and some of them you can only attack with certain dice types, but they will attack, and it'll be like a fight going back and forth. So if you don't kill them, they'll attack back, and they might kill some of your dice. So as long as you can keep yours alive, because you can, I think, roll shields and stuff too, you can keep fighting back and hope you can kill them. Some are easier than others. It's just a lot of fun. It's a big time dice chucker. I think as we've played it more and more, I've enjoyed it more and more just because I've started just probably adding more and more dice, learning that that's maybe a bigger piece of it than not, or taking chances with dice more than maybe I used to as well. Like, if I roll this just right, I can do it. But if not, I guess oh well. And yeah, some people are gonna like that. Some people aren't gonna like that as much. But especially with the expansions now, I think that's what keeps it up here for me. I think those are maybe necessary if you're thinking like long term having the game. Otherwise, I don't think it gets old after a few plays. But I just think it adds so much good stuff that you wouldn't want to play without it if you tried it with the expansions. You don't think so, Maggie?
I think the expansions are essential if you're going to play that game, and I do not typically like expansions, so I think that says a lot about the base game by itself.
Wow. This sounds like someone who's been burned by a die roll or two.
It's unique, but the whole Valhalla thing, like sailing, is just a mess. I don't know.
Valhalla thing of sailing.
Like,
Valhalla is the expansion, Maggie. That's the good part. It gives you tokens when they
it
die.
is this, yeah, the sailing part on
That
its
is
own
awesome part.
yeah, that's why I said the expansion is needed because otherwise it is way too little crumbs for that.
Wow. 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 I want to hear your little crumbs
It's
one
just not
here.
cohesive. I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
But this above cartographers. My butt.
Yeah, let's see what you got here, 61.
All right, well, my 61 is
See how cohesive it is.
my 61 is a brand new game to the list, and it's one we played. One we played at a convention, I think, and one I liked so much you got it for me. And there's another game coming out, I think, in this like universe or style or something, and I saw it at the Dork Den. I was like, "Did you get this?" And you're like, "No," and I was like, ugh. One time I want a game, and of course he doesn't order it out of
Is this the one that I had to order from a foreign country to get?
I don't know. Was it Trails of Tucana?
Yep.
Yes. Then yes, it was. It's a roll and write. It's real simple, but I love her. And I don't know if it's just the newness coming off of it, but I really enjoy connecting, trying to get these to connect, the different little icons, I guess, that they are, and the different pathways to try and get around. Essentially, you're flipping two cards and you have to connect two spaces of the same terrain type. And in doing so, trying to kind of map your way through this jungle to either get to the same landmark type things or connect a path. So like A to A, B to B, stretching across. So trying to do that in the most efficient way possible, while also kind of gathering some resources. So it is brand new. It is a verb and write, but I just really enjoyed it when we played it. And who knows how long it'll stick around, but the hotness is there and one that I am interested in playing again and again, even though it's new to the list.
Looks good. I like the look of it.
I don't know if it's cohesive.
Dookie dookie.
That is a fair pick, but this one, so much luck on how those cards come out.
You
Jeez,
gotta be smart.
I just remember the first time I had it mastered, and then the second time, the cards didn't come out right. They just did not come out the way they were supposed to.
Luck is the only way I can teach you sometimes.
But no, this one was fun. But yeah, that is the last one of this set of 10. If you made it this far, we really appreciate it. Appreciate it. You can give us a thumbs up on the video if you liked it. Leave your comments below on what you thought of our list, who had the best 10, who had the not best. We won't say worst. We'll say the not best. And yeah, subscribe for the future videos. But otherwise, we hope to see you on the next one. And as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.